Yeah.
What'd you do after that conversation? What was the first step that you made?
Well, the first thing I did was I put my nose to the grindstone and started working, and I really wanted to make a good life for myself and have a family. So I started taking myself off the board. I stopped basically man whoring around. Right?
Okay.
And
He focused.
yeah, and that's that's the way that I went. I met my wife. My wife had children from her basically high school sweetheart.
Okay.
And then she was married and divorced. And I was like, I don't know if this is going to work out.
Yeah.
But same thing. She completely devoted her life to me. And we had a rocky start. But, I mean, we've been happily married for, I think, 12 years exactly.
Nice.
You found a good one.
Nice. You made it work.
Yeah, she was great.
Yeah.
She's been fantastic. Now,
Did you come with kids as well, or no?
No,
you didn't come with children.
And people always, I get a lot of shit for that.
Yeah.
But what's funny is it's not a contrary position to understand that there's going to be outliers who are
Yeah, of
single
course.
moms.
Yeah.
But still having the general rule that you probably shouldn't date single moms,
Yeah.
still true.
Yeah.
I think we can agree there's a
Still
gray
true.
area
Yeah.
on certain things in the RP.
And see, I don't know if the audience just noticed that, right? Because
Yeah.
a lot of people that watch lack critical thinking skills. Like, he's just told you, yo, typically this doesn't work.
It doesn't work.
There's outliers though in everything.
Yes.
In this situation, right? In general practice, you probably shouldn't get married to a woman that has children from another relationship. However, Andrew was able to make it work, and you guys have been happily married for a while. So hey, it is what it is. But for the general masses, it ain't gonna work for most people.
Look, man.
And he even admitted that. And it's like people still talk shit. So it's like,
Bro,
all right.
I tried it. It didn't work for me, but it works for him.
Yeah. Yeah. There's always going to be outliers.
I think as a man, bro, if you're successful, if you're on your grind, if you're
Yeah.
on the way up, and you've made it for yourself, you can make a choice for yourself, whatever you want to do.
There's always exceptions to the rule, right? There's going to be general practices that you should probably avoid, but some guys can do it. It is what it is.
Well, this stuff didn't exist either when I was growing up. Just so you know,
When did you get
there
when
wasn't this kind of information that was out there. What is considered the red pill
red pill?
now
Yeah,
didn't
yeah,
even
yeah.
exist.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah,
that was just like something that was brand new for me when I was growing up. A blended family was
Common.
That was every other person had a
Are your
blended
parents still
family.
together to this day? Shit. So it
Yep.
worked.
Yeah,
Yeah.
they're still together to this day,
Yeah.
and they just adore each other.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But again,
So your dad's like 80 something. Your dad was born in the 40s. Dude, he was alive during World War II. Yeah, well, the end of it pretty much,
Yeah.
right? Vietnam,
yep,
Kennedy assassination,
yep,
civil rights,
yep,
marches,
all that.
Martin
knows
Luther
the tr-
King,
he knows the
Malcolm
truth,
X.
bro. He knows the truth.
And he was
Yo!
he was a staunch, I mean, diehard conservative. I was born. He was a conservative, and when he dies, he is as far right as they come.
Yeah.
Loathe Democrats, and he put a really good foundation of loathing the left into me. And
I was gonna ask where so because a lot of people, right? I'll admit it. Like I had a very liberal mindset before, and then as I got older, I was like, what the fuck? This is bullshit. Like you become wiser, you get older, and then you start making money, and you're like, wait, what do you mean I got to give this to people that don't want to work? This is stupid. And then you naturally just start to become more and more conservative and Republican. You know, it is what it is. For you never had that.
No,
I guess
it
you're
was-
always right.
And my mom always backed his play. But I mean, my earliest memories are of my dad looking at the television with the Clintons on, and going, "This guy's a fucking traitor! I can't believe it! This son of a bitch needs to get put in irons." I mean, that's my early memories of my father. And
Swear
I'd
to
walk in the
TV.
living room, and he'd be like, "Hey, son, how you doing? How is everything?" He'd be like, "Fine." He'd go, "Oh, that's great. This fucking traitor." that's my earliest memories of my dad.
Yeah. Well, you're old enough to remember Reagan. Was that?
Not really.
No?
Not really.
You were like
So, kind of Bush was early Bush was first Bush was a little bit clear to me.
Okay.
And then after that, mostly Clintons are where I started to cut my teeth on politics or even started paying attention. I was still a kid. Little
Gotcha.
Kid.
Okay.
Question. So you mentioned the red pill.
Mm-hmm.
What's your thoughts on the red pill itself?
So it's funny when you have debates on this. The red pill itself does not exist. What exists is an idea, a catalog idea, and you're using the red pill as a descriptor for this idea.
Okay.
That's all it is. So the idea, at least from my perspective of the red pill, is we want to know what is descriptively true before we make prescriptions for anything, right? So let's start with what is descriptively true. The red pill says men and women aren't equal. That was the first thing I saw. And I was like, okay, maybe there's something here. Maybe there's something good here, right?
Yeah.
Little pushback to egalitarianism. They also make other claims, too. They make claims about what women are attracted to, what they're not attracted to, what men are looking for, what they're not looking for. They're trying to get into kind of the sociology of the pairing of men and women.
Yeah.
From my perspective, almost all of the descriptors of the red pill line up perfectly with Christian ethics. It's when you get into prescriptions that we start having troubles. So, for instance, I know you're infamous for this,
Yeah.
right? But the have sex with 50 women thing, right?
Yeah.
Just so I make sure I don't get this position wrong, but I can give you like a counter example of what I'm saying.
Yeah, sure.
Can you lay your position on that out?
Why?
Yeah.
Okay, so we would agree, right, that the dating marketplace has changed,
Oh, yeah.
right?
Yeah.
Women have changed, right? They think they're equal to you, the egalitarian thing that we talked about before. So since the dating marketplace has changed significantly and women have more sexual experience now than ever before because they think they're men and they can have sex and have relationships just like men, etc., and be promiscuous and not deal with the same ramifications. What guys have to do is kind of go in and understand how women operate in today's day and age. And I think a good way to do that, right? Obviously, there's a multitude of ways, but one way to do it is obviously to have experience so that you're not getting into a relationship or a situation with a woman and you're not aware of her nature and you don't know how to deal with it. I kind of like, I like to use the analogy all the time. If you know you got a boxing match, right, in 5 years, right, with a very good and skilled opponent, well, what are you going to do? Are you going to play video games the whole time, or are you going to train and get ready for the biggest fight of your life, which I look at as marriage? Because
So it
you
makes
can
you
lose
worldly.
everything.
Makes you worldly.
Yes.
Right? And
Yeah.
I think we don't disagree that that's true.
Yeah,
The Christian ethics pushback to this would
of
be,
course.
but wait, you want this is a requirement or something which is helpful to make you a high value man.
Yeah.
Well, this in turn would give this hoe value.
But I don't determine a guy's high valueness from having sex with a lot of girls. I think a man being deemed as high status or high value is from his effort and his merit that he develops on his own, and then the women are a byproduct.
But he has experience now, and experience is going to help him be high value, right?
I wouldn't attribute him being, because there's guys that are high value that don't get girls. Like I wouldn't say like they're successful, they're smart, they're ambitious, etc. But they don't get girls. Maybe they don't go out enough. Maybe they don't care to.
Oh, right. But
Yeah,
they're
yeah.
more likely to get them if they want them, right?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're in a better position.
Yeah.
They're because it's a byproduct. But my thing is your value as a man is not attributed to the amount of girls that you have sex with. I just think it allows you to be a better test of character. You're better able to assess the character of women when you've dealt with them before, so that you don't get finessed out of the value that you created.
But wouldn't the entailment of that be that you're high value? Like the entailment of I have X amount of experience that helps me with my value. Like that's going to be a portion of that. And so kind of the rebuttal that we would have is we would say, okay,